Welcome to the annual pilgrimage for fans of comics, science fiction, and fantasy. Comic-Con 2017 kicks off in New York's Javits Center, and we've got an exclusive pass to check it out.
Honestly, walking around the show floor, seeing other people who have dressed up as well is always really exciting for us.
Beautiful.
It took about 30 minutes to pull this together, but to do the actual outfit since last Comic-Con.
A lot of people out here. It's a good time. A lot of people dressed up. It's nice. It's fun.
What do you like the most about this Comic-Con?
Walking around and seeing people dressed up as characters in movies.
Come on. The truth is people asking to take a picture with him. That's what he likes best about it, I think.
Apes together, strong!
This is Maurice, the real Maurice from War for the Planet of the Apes, and I'm going to transform myself now into an ape and go to battle. Goodbye, Tal. Hello, Caesar. Let's go. Let's go get this bed ape. Woo! I'm coming at ya. Ah! I'm dead. Poor Caesar. You were good to me. Going back to basics, this is how it all began. This is from 1942. Before Comic-Con, before movie premieres, before immersive exhibitions, that was it. Comics. Well, and superheroes in real life.
If you like art and if you like literature, it's just a merging of the two. People, take a look at some of these covers. Some of the best artists in the world couldn't replicate these things. I'll put my money on it.
We're here with an artist, a very special one. Her name is Christine Cummings, and she's doing jelly bean art.
I spray the whole thing with spray adhesive, a pretty thick coat of it, and it stays sticky so the beans will just stick on and stay.
Let me help you here.
Please do. And so this will stay sticky indefinitely. Once I get all of the beans on, hopefully that'll be by Sunday, by the end of Comic-Con, and they'll send it back to me and I'll pour on the final resin, and it'll be completely sealed, and it'll go into the collection of Jelly Belly Candy Company.
Unless I'm here, and then I'll just stay here, eat your art,
You've got the apple ones. Those are the good kind. I'm not even going to start because I won't stop.
We're here to hang from the ceiling just like Spidey in his new movie, Homecoming.
So you're going to kneel down?
Kneeling nowadays is a tricky thing.
It can be, yes. So you're going to kneel down, you're going to climb across the floor to the light in the center. When you get to that light, you're going to look up to the left-hand corner where our camera is, and you're going to do your best Spidey pose, all right?
I'll do it. All right, let's do it.
We have here a poison ivy couple.
She has the power of, through her kiss or using pheromones, controlling people.
We want to see it.
We are the only winery that grows its own grapes.
Welcome to Chateau Latif, the only vineyard located in the heart of Manhattan. It is run by 90-year-old Latif Gigi. He grows his own grapes on the island. Latif turned his 4-story house in the Upper East into a winery, producing dozens of white wine bottles each year.
It grew along the wall and kept climbing, and came to the roof.
Latif is a professor of engineering who taught at various universities, including NYU. His passion for wine goes back to his homeland, Iraq.
My father used to make wine. We did have a vine in the house, but it didn't really bear grapes. But he did make wine. This picture was taken in 1922 in Basra. It shows my parents and two of my siblings.
Latif's family was a part of a big Jewish community in Iraq. Up until the early 40s, around 150,000 Iraqi Jews played active roles in many aspects of the country's life. As Latif recalls, being a Jew in Iraq during his childhood years was just normal.
When we go to Baghdad, we have Muslim friends. My father always used to send gifts, normally dates, from Basra. So there were no problems. Don't forget that that period, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, followed the Ottoman rule in Iraq. And the Ottomans, the Turks, really let people have their own groups and their own schools and religious institutions.
But that all started to change around June of 1941, when the Farhud pogroms erupted. In the capital, Baghdad, hundreds of Jews were murdered. In Basra, many Jewish homes and businesses looted and burned down. Jewish families started to leave Iraq.
And it was a very delicate time because I was in Baghdad while I was trying to gather my papers and get all the permits to be valid to leave. There were demonstrations in the streets, down with Israel, down with the Jews, down with Zionism. So it was a very tricky time for me, whether I was going to make it or not.
Latif immigrated to the United States in 1947, the year of the UN's partition plan that recommended the creation of independent Arab and Jewish states. When the State of Israel was established in 1948, Latif knew that life in Iraq was surely over.
I came to the United States. It was December 10th, 1947. America was at its peak of power. It was the place to be. It was the dream of everyone. Certainly it was my dream. And I landed in New York. I thought that this is just an unbelievable development for me. Walking on the streets, it wasn't like walking on any streets. I am in America.
Latif's new life in America with his wife Vera and their 4 children was thriving, just like his vineyard.
Wine has to be stored at an optimum temperature of 62 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the juice from last September. It's not ready to drink it as wine, but another 4 or 5 months it would be.
Do you sell it?
We don't sell it. We give it away.
The label Chateau Latif is a play on the well-known international wine brand Rothschild Chateau Lafite. Each year, Latif's family and friends get together to paint the labels and enjoy a good meal with some great wine. Tal Heinrich, i24 News.
Let me tell you about Petah Tikva. Such a city, everybody loves it. Lots of fun, lots of art, lots of culture. That's Petah Tikva with a P. Where you are, this is not Petah Tikva.
A snafu blamed on one letter leaves one Egyptian police band stuck in the middle of the Israeli desert. That sets off a chain of events in the band's visit that leaves these travelers and their newfound hosts intertwined in the most unexpected of ways.
It's really remote. The people don't move very quickly. They don't talk very quickly. They don't have a lot of verve. This is life. This is how it is. And that's what really struck me about the movie.
As the band prepares to stay the night in the small town, 2 characters find themselves surprisingly attracted to each other. Dina, the Israeli cafe owner, played by screen and stage veteran Katrina Lenk, and Tawfiq, the Egyptian band's leader, played by 3-time Emmy Award winner Tony Shalhoub, who is best known for his role in the series Monk.
Our focus is primarily, on the material, on the relationships in these characters, what the common ground is between the 2 cultures, how these characters relate to each other, how they enhance each other's lives in the very brief time they have together.
Directed by David Cromer, the band's visit is a musical based on an original script by Israeli filmmaker Eran Kolirin. This Broadway performance comes 10 years after the hit movie of the same name. The producers had hoped their movie would be an Oscar contender for the best foreign film, but it was disqualified for having too much of the English language. The feature starred Ronit Elkabetz, a beloved Israeli actress who passed away just last year from cancer.
I'm inspired by how sensual she is in the movie. And in general, she's a very physically grounded actor. And also her sense of humor, and she's surprising, just constantly surprising you. So I hope to bring some things of her to this.
A play featuring the Israeli-Egyptian dynamic may have the assumption of being politically charged, but not here. Instead, the characters are brought together by the common elements that bond us all.
It's not done in a rosy way. I think it's done in a realistic way where people have their suspicions of the other, and those walls are slowly broken down. Everyone has girlfriend problems and wife problems, and everyone loves music, and it's beautiful and human how everything is brought together.
Unlike Katrina Lenk, the band's visit is a Broadway debut for some of her fellow actors. But what mostly excites them about this production is not necessarily the big career opportunity.
I grew up without any expectation of being able to represent my culture, to sort of enter the business and then have this opportunity to represent myself transcends the professional moment, which of course is exciting. I'm making my Broadway debut, but the cultural moment and the personal moment of sort of me being able to sort of accept myself, celebrate myself.
The band's visit is hoping to change the narrative when it comes to diversity on the stage, as the casting reflects the diverse ethnicities that appear in the musical, including American actors of Israeli, Lebanese, and Egyptian descent.
I think that having actual Israelis and Arab, actors of Arabic descent in the show brings an authenticity that has not been seen in a Broadway musical or really much in theater. These are not stories. A modern Middle Eastern story is never told on Broadway.
Created a computer vision, and
we're supporting local family farms.
We created our own fabric.
A wearable device that helps paralyzed patients communicate, a land-based farm for coral that restores damaged reefs, an interactive library of digital books designed to foster a love of learning.
LeVar Burton Kids is a company that believes that literacy is the birthright of every child everywhere.
These are among the 8 innovations that made it into the Creator Awards Global Finals. It's a competition for a $1 million prize bestowed by WeWork, the co-working space provider.
We're all making social impact, and every single person, they're so real, so authentic. They're all innovators and creators.
Israeli entrepreneur Adam Neumann co-founded WeWork in 2010 in New York City. Today, the revolutionary office provider has more than 200 co-working spaces in 65 cities around the world. But WeWork also sees itself as a platform that supports creators. What makes one a creator?
It's someone who thinks outside the box and someone who ventures forward to do something even though they haven't figured out every single step.
The Creator Awards competition is based on a Shark Tank format. Entrepreneur and inventor Joy Mangano knew choosing one winner would be a tough task.
Everybody's going to be a winner because the world is going to be a winner. It's very, very, very exciting.
But WeWork CEO made it a bit easier for the judges with a surprise announcement that 2 organizations would be honored, one for-profit company and one non-profit.
Grand prize winners of $1 million!
After a 20-year military career, J. Kevin White started the group Global Vision 2020. This nonprofit concept provides prescription eyewear to underdeveloped nations. The second big winner, Samantha Snabes of Re3D, produces accessible 3D printers that use recycled materials.
Congratulations.
All of the other finalists also left the stage with more funding for their businesses and more determined than ever to change the world, one innovation at a time. Tal Heinrich, i24 News.